Now in this first thing you need to know is exact and operator. Basically, when you want to match the names, you will be using operator called equal to sign. So here the operator equal to sign will work to match the name. For example, if I'm using this equals to this name, if it is matching, you'll get true. If it is not matching, you'll get false. And if I'm using here the formula called exact, if I select the name, first name, and the second name with the help of comma, what I'm getting here false. Why? What is the reason behind this? Somewhere I'm getting true, somewhere I'm getting false. Because it's a case sensitive. Is it clear? So whenever you want to add all the address, you're gonna use the combined text is called as concatenate. So you can use here concatenate function, which is called here concatenate. You can select this Wipro, give a comma, space, then give a comma, then again select the cell, then space, then again select the cell. Like this, you need to select one by one. This is how you can add it. Okay. And this is the formula which I'm mentioning here for the concatenate. But the easiest way, if you want to execute, then we have one more function which is called text join. So that will be applicable in few versions, which is called 2019 above. If it is there, you can use it. If it is not there, you can ignore. Okay. So the formula called text join. In this text join, you have the options. Please listen carefully the options here. Delimiter is nothing but your space. What you need middle between these two names. And whether if you have any empty cells, suppose in this data, if you find any empty cells, it should ignore. So I'm using true. And then I'm selecting the range. The range from here to here, I'm selecting in one single go and closing the bracket. I got the same answer. This is how you can use it. The next concept here. Let's try to understand. You have here region code, which is known as US. You have something called year. And like this, you have it. And you have something called here orders, which is order number. Okay. So you have these three things. Let's understand that. Now, if I want to combine all these three records in one single go, then how do we combine it? So which formula should I use? I can use here concatenate. And when I select all the three in one single go, is it activating in one single cell? No. So whenever you're selecting the range like this, range is called from Q to yes, that is called as a range. When you're selecting the range, concatenate will not work properly. Okay. Here the formula will work, which is called as concat. Concat will work in a proper way. See there. Are you getting it now? So this is how you can use it. Concat and concatenate difference. When you have a range, you have to use which formula? Concat formula. I hope. Now let's go to the next one. Suppose you have here first name, mid name, and last name. Let's assume that. You have here first name, mid name, and last name. So first name I'm just adding as a Suraj, Kumar, Khanna. Okay, let's take these three names as the first, mid, and last. Now, if I want to combine these three, so we have three formulas here. So one by one, I'm going to represent now. So the first one is concatenate. If I'm selecting this and giving the space, and if I'm selecting this again, giving the space, and if I'm selecting this, which one is right? This one is clear. First name, mid name, and last name. If I use here concat in this scenario, Is it a right approach? No. Because after the name, you need a space where you don't have the space over here. So for that, again, you can use the same way what concatenate has used. You can give spaces like this. So in this scenario, both are same. There is no changes. When you want to give any additional text, you have to approach in the same way. Okay, then what is the differences between, you have used here text join. Text join, first condition, what it is asking you? Delimiter. Delimiter is your space. You're ignoring the space over here. Okay. So if you are not ignoring, suppose I'm using here false condition. And then if I'm selecting all the three range and close a bracket, am I getting the same name? Okay. Now the last one, again, text join, space as a delimiter. Now here I'm using a true condition. Earlier I have used false condition. Now if I'm closing the bracket, I got all the same names. Clear? Now let's see here. I'm using the length of this character and checking it out. How many letters you guys are seeing? Right?
18.
Okay. If I delete here Kumar, how many letters you should see? Suraj and Khanna.
12.
Suraj is 5 and Khanna is almost 6. 6 plus 5? 11 plus 1?
12.
So you should get 12. But how much you are getting? Why?
Hmm.
Because you are getting extra space. When you delete the middle name, you'll get extra space. To avoid that extra space, we use here true condition. Okay, this is why we have used here true condition. So whenever you write the formula, you need to understand why you're approaching those formulas. In this, if I delete the middle name in these three, it will add extra space. But when I use this condition, it will not remove the extra space. Okay, these three will not remove the extra space. Only this one will remove the extra space. Because whenever you are writing text join, it is clearly mentioned here. After giving the space, it is saying you, do you want to ignore the empty cell or do you want to add the empty cell? So if you want to ignore it, you have to select the true. Got the point here? So for that reason only we have done this. Please replace. Basically replace will work with position level. Okay, whenever you want to change specifically position level, then you have to use replace option. For example, let's understand. Here you have India space 2023 -001 and the output they required is India -2023. Do you see the differences? In India, between India and space, 2023, you have a space. Here you have a hyphen. So they need this hyphen to be replaced here. To replace that option, you're gonna use a formula called replace. So if I'm typing here replace, you need to understand the concept over here. The old text. What is your old text? This is your old text. The starting number, the position number, where you need, okay, where do you have a space? In which letter? Okay, India is 5 letter and spaces?
6th letter.
Okay. Now how many characters you want to replace? Only one. Then you will type 1 here. And what is your new text? Hyphen. Double quotes and hyphen and close a bracket. It got replaced. This is how you're gonna use replace option. I hope this makes clear. Have time equals to replace old text. New text is
10th number.
10.
start number 10.
10,
1.
1, 4.
You can use double quote or without double quote. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter here. Okay. Okay. Someone has used something else. Someone who has used in a different way. No one. Seriously. Replace. Starting letter is 7. 4 letters.
4. Yeah.
2024. Both are in the same way. We have replaced only one text and they have replaced with 2023 to 2024. Both the answers are right. You can say this is right, this is right. Okay, so you have multiple level. Just try to understand the patterns. Substitute. Basically, substitute will work with a character level and it is a case sensitive. It's clearly mentioned here. Okay. Case sensitive in the sense, if you're using uppercase or lowercase, it will show you in that way. For example, now let's assume that I have here Akash again, and I want to replace A with hyphen. What I want to replace? A with hyphen. So I'm using substitute. The text is this, old text is A, and the new text is hyphen and close the bracket. So what it is doing? It is just cross-checking only the small letter A. Are you getting it? So hyphen, which I have given here, it's A is a small letter. So first thing, it is a case sensitive. Case sensitive in the sense, whether it will check the uppercase or lowercase, either one. It will not take all the A. Got it? That is case sensitive. And second condition, character level in the sense, whatever the character you give the answer, it will give you that. For example, here, do you see the hashtags? We need to remove the hashtag and we need to get this output. To get this output, we're gonna use here substitute. The text is this. What is your old text? What do you want to replace? Hashtag with new text. Do you have any new text? No. Then you have to keep nothing like this. Then you have to close the bracket. Enter. You got the answer. Clear? Wherever you have a hashtag, it will remove the hashtag. That is how substitute works, which is known as character level. Please make. Thank you. Now here you have finding the A position. So you have two formulas which is called find and search. Find and search are used for finding the position number. Okay. Please mute offline. It's find is a case sensitive and position is not a, search is not a case sensitive. Anyone? Still. Please mute, buddy. Okay. Now here, how to use find and search. Suppose they are asking you to find or search the A position number. Which here they are looking for? Which A? It is a uppercase or smaller case? Lowercase will be right. So here, lowercase A is in which position? The position number of this? Fifth position. And here, third position. So let's see. How do you find it? You have to use here find the text, double quotes A within the text in this text and close a bracket. So which position you're getting? 5. But when you're using search, let's see. Finding a text which is A within this text and closing the bracket. Which one is right now? Find is right or search is right? Because A is there in the both the way. Akshay A and A at the end also you have. So which one is right?
Find.
So both are
Right.
correct.
First, try to
Find.
understand the question. Which letter they are?
Find.
Find.
Small letter. Small letter's position is?
Fifth position.
So which
Fifth
one is right
position.
now?
Find.
Find.
Okay. The start number represent to find the next find. For example, everyone, if you want to find the space, so you have a space here, find the text, and then you have to use here, and then close the bracket. So you got the position number 7 and 6. Here, both will give you the same answer. For example, if you are using search, and if you are finding space, and selecting this bracket, and here you'll get same. So only when you have a text letter, at that time, this makes differences. When you have any special characters, both will give you the same answer. Doesn't matter at all. Okay. So these two conditions. Okay. Now let me just come to her question. So start num. What do you mean by start num? Basically, whenever you want to find any second text in the name or anywhere, you have to use the start num option. For example, let's take here. Now, let me just go here. Can you see here how to find the second space below? Do you see this? So first find is what? After 6 letter, which is 7. That is very easy to get it. Yes or no? But how do you gonna get the second space? To get the second space, you will be using the start now. Okay. Now let me explain you here. I'm just writing here Naveen. So how many letters you are seeing E? 2.
2.
So I need to find the second E, not the first E. Okay, I need to find the second E. Okay, not like this. I'll just take some other name. Okay, I want to find the second I over here. Are you getting it? So first I is in the Surya and the second I is in Rohit. Clear? So let's start. So I just want to find I, or I'll use search because it's not a case sensitive, in this text and close the bracket. What I'm getting? If I want to find the second one, then I'll use here comma start number. If I use +1 and close the bracket, what it is giving you? Is it giving you any other option? No. So after this, if you close the bracket and if you give +1, what letter you're getting now? Surya, I is 4th letter and the 5th letter is Y. From here, again, you need to try one more search. So your starting position is what? 5th letter. So what this search will do, now the second search, it will start the letter from Y and it will try to find out till I. So this is how it's gonna go. So in this scenario also, again, I'm gonna use here search and then I'm gonna find here the text called I within this text, and then this is my start num. Can you see this? What is the start num actually? From which position it is starting? From the 5th position.
Position.
Okay, so this is where we're gonna use start num. It's same like your nested if formula. Now you're getting the second position. So like that, if you want to identify the second space, first you need to know how to identify the first space. So find space and you're gonna select this cell and close the bracket. You got the first space. Now if you type here +1, now this is your starting position to find the second space. Got it? So before this, you're gonna use again one more find. You're gonna give space. You're gonna select the cell and give a comma. And this is called your starting num. Clear on this? And then you will close the bracket and you will close the bracket again. No, one bracket only. So you got the second space. The same concept they have written here. To find the second space, to find the third space, fourth space, you have to mention like this. I hope this makes clear. The same thing again I'm showing with search, space, select the cell and starting num. Again, you need to start from the K letter after the first space. So again, you're gonna use here search, space, and then select the cell, close a bracket and +1. This is your start num. Now let's go to the next option, the advanced level. So first try to understand here. You want to extract the name called Anil Kumar, but he needs only the first name in the B column. Okay, we need only the first name. First name means Anil. So how many letters Anil contains? 4. So let's try to understand here. If I'm using here left and selecting the cell and giving the number of letters is 4. Am I getting the answer? Okay. Tomorrow if I write here Sunil Kumar, what I'm getting? Am I getting 4 or 5 letters? Is it a right answer then? No. When I change the name dynamically, value should also change here in the below cell. The name should give you only the first name. Is it giving you the first name? No, not at all. So at that moment, what you're gonna use it? You're gonna use here the combination between first name and last name. What do you have? Space. So you need to find the space. So here we are using finding the space. So how many letters do you see the space? Before the space, you have a first name, right?
4 letters.
For the space, you have first name. Agreed or not? Okay. If I combine these two, suppose if I give here -1, how many letters you are seeing now? 4.
4 letters.
So here, if you properly observe, this 4 and the left number 4, is it matching? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. So if I combine these two formulas, then it will be a dynamic formula. So let's see. If I'm using here left selection of the cell, and instead of taking number 4, I'll be using here find space and selection of this close a bracket and -1 and then close a bracket. Okay, now let me just try here. Sunil Kumar. This one is right answer or this one is right answer? Okay, if I write here Sanjay Kumar, now is it working dynamically? This is how you can use it. Okay, there is another way to approach also. I'll explain you that. So you can use here left name, and then you will be using here find space, and you will select this and close the bracket. But here the problem is both are giving you the same name, but here adding the extra space. To remove the extra space, which formula you're gonna use? Trim. And you got the answer. So these are the two answers, which is a result. Any way you can use it. Clear? When I'm using right and when I'm selecting the cell, how many characters I have? The last name? 5. Okay. So I got the name. Okay. In case if I'm typing here, am I getting it? I'm just getting Simha, no Narasimha. Then no other option I have. So for that, what should I use? I have to use first len. What is the len? Len means it will give you the whole number of characters. Okay, this is one step. Second step, you need to find the space between these two names, first name and last name. Okay, now if you subtract the total len of character with the first space, what letters you will get? So you got the first letter, which is 5. Okay. Now try to understand in the right, how many letters you have given here? And here, how many letters you got? Is it matching? So you have to place part like this. So how you gonna write? Let me just show you. Equals to right, selection of this, then you're gonna use len of the character, selection of this algebraic again, minus, then find the space, and then you're gonna select this, close the bracket, and then close the bracket. That's it. You got the answer. Simple concept it was. And you made it complex. That's it. And if you change the name, last name, automatically this name will give you the right answer. The upper name will not give you the right answer because that is basic and this is advanced. Dynamic answer. Can you guys try? So whenever you want to extract the first name, you will be using left. Remember this, left of this name, and then find space and selection of this -1. So you're gonna get all the first name. And the last name is, again, you're gonna use right, selection of the cell, length of the character, and then minus of finding this first space. This is how you're gonna get the answer. This is your first name and last name. Now, I'm going with, you can do it later because you have already done it. Now I'm going with the mid name. So mid name is complex scenario. If you learn this, then 60% of formulas you don't have to by heart. It's all about your understanding. But it is one of the, hectic formula, what I know in Excel. Okay, but how it works, let's see. First, you need to understand the concept here. the basic mid. Mid will start from K letter, okay, and it has to extract all the Kumar letters. So almost 5 letters. The starting position will be K and Kumar will be 5 letters. So this is how you need to represent it. Now, how you gonna do that? So basically mid starts with 3 parameters, as you guys know. So for example, if I type here mid, selection of the cell, start num. Start num is Naveen is 6 letters, 7 and 8. K is your starting point, which is 8th letter of K. And then number of character is 5. Okay, so here I'm just mentioning K is 5 letter. Sorry, K is 8th letter. Start num and then 5 numbers, 5 text you needed. So this is how the position works. If you see, clear on this? Now try to understand starting letter, how to get the starting letter with the help of space. So you're gonna use find space, selection of this and +1. So what you're getting here? What is the letter you're getting? 8. 8 is your which position name? The K letter. Agreed? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Now, to find the second space, what do you have to do? You have to use find space, selection of this, then give a comma, start num. Again, you will be using one more find space, then you will be using +1. So after this K only, you can find the second space. So that is the reason you have given here plus sign. Okay. Now you're getting the starting second position space. Okay. This is your second space. Okay, after getting this, what they have asked you to do? Subtract second space with what? First letter. So what is the number?
5.
5. So 5 is what? Text letter. I hope till here we are good.
Yes,
Able
sir.
to understand? Now, if you combine these all things, this will be the hectic job. Let's see. I'm using here mid. Okay, selection of this text and then find space. And here selection of this +1. This is my letter to find the K letter. Is it clear? Okay. Now I'm using first, second space. First, I want to find the second space. Then I have to use minus first space. What answer I got? So simple concept I have done. Okay, but the formula looks a bit hectic. That is the reason I asked you to cross check one by one. So first you're finding the first space, second space, and then you're finding this space minus the first one. And you got the answer with 5. And tomorrow if you change the name, it will change dynamically. And this is the result. Yes, it is a hectic job. I completely know, but you need to write it. And here, try to understand. If you're not able to understand, then do step by step. That's it. See, the concept is very simple, guys. If you want to understand in a proper way, again, for you guys, let's understand here. I'll just delete everything so that it will be very easy for you to understand. Okay, first I need to find out the basic, okay, mid letter. So here when I'm typing mid formula, selection of this cell, start number is from K letter. So what is the K position? You need to respond now. What is your K position? 8.
Number.
Okay, how many letters you need? The middle name.
5.
So you got Kumar here, clear? So this is what you need to get it. Now I'm just writing here the formula. So you got the answer. Now the same thing I need to get in a dynamic way because it may be a different names. No idea. Tomorrow it may be like Ajay, okay, Kumar, Singh. So can you see that? Are you getting the right answer now? So basic will not work in this scenario. Got the point? Now, if I write here, to find the first letter, to find what? First letter of mid name. Which formula should I use? Find, space, selection of this and plus 1. I got the answer. Clear on this? To find the first letter. Clear on this? I've written very clearly now. Okay, now next. How many letters you need? You need 5 letters, right? But how are you going to calculate that? First, you need to find out what? Second space. Okay. First, directly contact to the second space. Okay, why? What is the reason behind this? I'll explain it. So I'm going to find the second space. How many letters you are seeing now? 13 letters. So where it is going? To the second space. Agreed? Okay. If you minus 13 plus 8, what will be the letter? If you minus 13 minus 8, what is the letter you got? 5.
Five.
What is your name of Naveen Kumar? 5. So you got the answer here. Clear on this? So what
Yes.
I have used? I have find the second space of mid name. Clear? To find out, we have used this formula. Now this is your subtraction. Okay, subtract of what? Second space and first K letter or first mid letter. Okay, now here, if I'm using mid, selection of this, and then if I'm using here, find space, and then this is my starting position. Clear? Am I good till here? This is my starting position of this letter. After that, number of characters. How many characters you need? 5. To identify the 5, I have to use find, second space first. Then I have to give minus which space? First space. What answer I got? I got the answer. This is what you're gonna write the query. So if you name and last name, how are you gonna get it? This was a task in the last class what I have given. Ask you to try this weekend. First name, mid name, last name. And here you got the answer. See, when you drag it down, you should get the answer, not one by one. ऐसे लिखोगे तो 100 आंसर्स लिखना पड़ेगा.